In this video, guys, I'm going to talk about fixing bad trade timing. Stay tuned. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining me. Bad trade timing, what is it? Now listen, we can never be perfect with our trade timing, so let's not try to be. Okay, maybe we can when we get to the bottom of the day and we're like, yeah, you got the bottom tick, but in reality, it's never always going to be that way. We're always going to be a little bit late, a little bit early, and that's what a stop's for. It almost doesn't have to be perfect as long as the stop accommodates the noise and the trade continues in our direction, or if we're completely wrong, the stop takes us out without causing too much damage. That's really what we're trying to do. So how do we fix this bad trade timing? So I wouldn't say, you've got to be careful you don't categorize yourself as a bad trade timer. Bad trade timing to me is when you're consistently one way or the other. In other words, you're consistently early or you're consistently late into a trade. And sometimes you're a bit of both, and you've got to kind of strip out the different rhythm of the market, because very often that's really the case when you've got sometimes early, sometimes late. And sometimes the rhythm's slightly different. The trend, you might be a little bit early in it, kind of mean reversion, you might be a little bit late. So strip it out. But identify, is it early, is it late? You know, what am I doing? This is where it comes back and you review your trade and you go, hey, I'm just a little bit early, a little bit early. And that's generally me. I err on the early side. If I could pick where most of my trades go, it's probably touch early. Sometimes I can just turn a little bit early and I have to kind of sit through a little bit more. And I'm like, oh, you know, and sometimes if you go past the point where you're way too early, you're going to get stopped and it goes in your direction. So you want to get it right, because if you get it just in the sweet spot, it means you can have a tighter stop. Tighter stop, better risk reward ratio, you're making more money for the risk that you're taking. So how do you combat this type of thing? So if you in a situation where, right, you know, I'm just constantly a little bit early, then just see what you can do about the situation. Say, all right, maybe a good example is this. You take a trade on a pullback and you're great at timing that. It pops up, often comes back, retests you, pings you out, and then goes again. If that's something that's happening, then maybe you just start to create a rule that says second test only, second test only. And so you're there saying, hey, the conditions at the moment, often the way I'm trading, if I'm aligning long in these conditions, we often get a second test. So wait for the second test before you take the trade. And so you can start to generate these rules. Now, one thing that I really like to do is to wait for a level to break and fail before going in. That's the range break fake trade. And regardless of where it is, it's a case of, right, I want to see a level fail and come back. It's not quite the range break fake actually, because the range break fake is slightly subtly different, but I want to see a level fail and then come back in, and then I'll take it. And so that's like, well, don't be early, don't be early, don't be early, Mark, don't be early, just wait, let it fail. Because if it carries on failing, fine, it's gone. But if it just pops back up, just wait. That might be a couple of seconds if you're a day trader, a couple of minutes, maybe a 15-minute candle, wait for it to pop back up. Okay, now, why? Because I can structure the trade below the low, I can take it here. I just prefer to do that rather than trying to get that second test and getting it on the line. Why? Because often if it breaks, how far the hell is it going to go? I don't know where it's going to go. It's going to break, and then snap back. That wick could be massive. In which case I might not take it anyway, but the point is, wait for that wick. And that's something I'll do, is say, okay, just be a little bit patient, wait for the break, the fail, the pop back, the strength, then buy it, structure the trade that way, play that game, add to the trade as you're pushing through those highs, if you feel that that's the way to trade it. So, I mean, it's just an operational thing, but what about looking at your trades and saying, okay, what's making it bad trade timing? You know, am I just early? Don't forget, sometimes you can just be wrong. Okay, I keep trying to get long and this thing just keeps going lower. In which case, that's a step back job. Reassess and go, what clues are there that I'm just positioned wrong? What clues are that, you know, I'm just getting just completely the direction wrong? That's different. But if your direction's right, the timing's wrong, then identify early or late, which is it? If you're late, maybe you can start to go, okay, I'm a bit late. What does that mean? That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be early to pull the trigger, it just means you need a better price. And so maybe instead of going market and chasing it, maybe if the market's, let's say here, let's say you're kind of getting short here, and you go, right, we'll make it here. You kind of go, oh, I just want to get short. If you can wait for a little pop and then get in, it's slightly later time-wise, but maybe it's a better price. It's not a great example. Maybe this one's a bit better actually, and you're kind of looking at it here normally, and you normally think, yeah, we're going to pummel through lows. Yeah, I'm going to get on it. And you're in, it's a bit late. Like, okay, you can still be late time-wise, but just wait for a better pop. So you go, right, just wait. I need to see it rock back 25 ticks or whatever it is, and then I'll take it. And if you're always thinking that, then you're always kind of getting that spring as it stretches, just getting you filled and then going to lows. So it's not necessarily late as in time. Sometimes it can be a price improvement. Let me get a better price improvement. So even if it's an extra 10 minutes down the line, better price improvement. But sometimes it's quite hard. You say, I'm always late. If you're late because you hesitate, that's a problem can be fixed. If it's late because you don't see the move until it's happening, then you can't suddenly go back in time and go, I wish I got on there for the beginning. Maybe you can find some clues for it, but that's just the way it is. But sometimes it's just, whoa, just wait. Just wait for it just to retrace a sniff, a touch, just to kiss your limit and then carry on lower. So sometimes it's a very slight operational tweak. Do you wait for the bar to break, come back, go again? Do you wait for a pullback to get in? Do you wait for a test to fail and pop? Often there's a sequence of events that you can just pick out, bolt into your trading. Normal trading is there, you've got all your sequences, you filter your trigger, etc. And you go, right, I just need this last little thing. I need to just see this happen before I go in. I need to just see it pop, fail, or I need to just see it do this, do that. And that sometimes is just enough to fix the problem if you're a bit late or a bit early. So have a look for your trading, see if you can identify, are you late, are you early to a trade, and then think about how operationally you could implement something that's very easy, structured, it's a rule-based thing. You go, right, actually all I do is I just put a resting limit 25 ticks under that, or a trading resting limit to pots 25 ticks, or I wait until that level breaks a third time, or I wait until I get a bid, a break, a pullback, some kind of structure, and go, right, that will help that, because if I did that in my previous trades, that would have got me on board much better prices, so I'm going to do that moving forward. And it can just be an easy fix that just helps you loads. All right guys, take care, see you next one, bye bye.